your wahala, your breakthrough, idea. Welcome to the chat room.
This no be ordinary place. Now a solution they show face. LadyMary they lead the way. With guests we go blow your brain. Talk your matter make we solve them. No judgment, just love and wisdom. We they discuss, we they learn. Every episode you gon' feel the burn. Oh, the chat room. Now here we they find a way. Oh, the chat room.
Oh yes,
We go talk and clear, no delay. Oh, it's interactive, educative, informative, and unapologetic. Oh, the chat room. We unstoppable, no be lie. You, hey, the chat room. Hey, now here we can find a way. We the chat room. We go talk and clear, no delay, no delay. It's interactive, educative, informative, and unapologetic. Oh, the chat room. We unstoppable, no be lie. Oh, the chat room. Yeah. Now here we dey find a way. Oh, the chat room. Oh yeah. We go talk and clear, no delay. No delay. It's interactive, educative, informative, and unapologetic. Oh, the chat room. We unstoppable, no be lie. You.
Good evening, everyone. Tonight is another wonderful Sunday right here in the chat room. I have myself, my co-host, and our guest with us tonight. My name is LadyMary Boadu. I am your host for the chat room, a platform dedicated to resolving daily life issue, and it's our hope to bring about transformation to you and your family and that of ours as well. As you all know it, every month we come up with a topic and we do well to bring about different guests till we are done looking at different aspects of the specific topic at hand. And then we move on to another one. Last week we couldn't come on board, but we're making it up today. So thank you for your patience. If you're just tuning in, we just want to encourage you to share, call a friend to tell a friend that there is something educative cooking on here in the chat room. And so they can do us the honor of tuning in tonight. Ladies first. Nanaya, please introduce yourself and pass it over to Sis Joyce. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the chat room. I am Nanaya Sarpong, the co-host of the chat room show. I'm a mother, wife, and entrepreneur. I'm the founder of Obianana Clothing Line, which is an African print-inspired clothing line. Thank you all for joining us once again for another great discussion. Welcome. Miss Joyce.
All right. I'm Joyce Sarpong, a mother, a wife, and someone who battled infertility for many years, say 8 years. So I'm here to share my experience and my knowledge on today's topic. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Tunde, can you introduce yourself for us?
All right, so my name is Fully Olatunde Akinfolajimi. I am a father, I'm a husband, I'm a Christian. What else? And I'm a registered nurse. I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner. Yeah, that's I'm an elder too.
Thank you.
Mm.
Pastor Williams, please go ahead.
Yes, hello, good evening, everyone. My name is Pastor Dunstan Williams. I'm the pastor of Church of the Living God. I'm Richmond Branch. I'm a husband. I'm a father, and yes, that's it.
Well, thank you. So tonight is going to be a bit different. We want to share a story. So one of the reasons why we started the chat room, the background is that we had a platform. We have a platform called Heart to Heart, and we realized that people would share, their personal stories with us. And when people share their personal stories, you see people come under the comments, and attesting to the fact that they've witnessed it, they're going through the same thing, sometimes even in our inboxes. So then I'm like, you know what, why don't we just turn this into something, right? To where we are talking about people's issues. So initially, when we started 6 years ago, that was all we did. We would talk about people's issue, bring the issue on board. But then we thought we can't just continue to make it controversial because there's also some peaceful things happening, right? So we decided to bring on board the educational part where we're doing education in so many different things. And so tonight, we talked about it and we decided that we would share someone's story based on the topic, and then we would have a discussion. So as we I will share the story one more time just for the sake of our audience. Our young lady has been married for 8 years. There's no child yet. Initially, she and the husband both thought that she was the problem, and that's common for some of us, within the African community and other people, those in the Western world. The moment a conception is not taking place, everybody points fingers at the woman, thinking, okay, it's her fault. So they thought the same, but then it later came to find out that the issue is actually from the man. And the man is spiritualizing this issue, refusing to accept that he's actually, at fault. And now the lady says she's heard that the mother-in-law is now asking that the husband takes another wife because she thinks that the daughter-in-law is at fault. So tonight we're looking at infertility among couples and how the church can help, the church and family members can help. So Nanaya, I'll start with you and we take around.
Okay, so I think it will be let's have Joyce go tell us a little bit about her experience, with the whole thing since she's had firsthand experience, and then she can advise.
So Sis Joyce, let me ask this. Let me ask Pastor William and Elder this. Then we come to you. I think it will flow that way.
Okay.
Being that they are pastors, okay, and this man is also in a position in the church. That's why he's spiritualizing everything. Is that okay? I want to ask them, where do they stand when it comes to this? As a believer, as a pastor, as an elder, spiritualizing everything when you've been told that you have an issue with infertility. Elder, please come in and then Pastor will jump on.
Okay. I thought everybody was going to talk before me, but that's fine. So I'm someone that believes that there is God and there's humanity, right? And I don't think those two things. I don't think they are different, but I think they work hand in hand. I don't think they are against each other, right? Jesus Christ was fully God and fully man, right? So those two things are essential. God made man and he gave man authority over the earth, and we're a representative of God, right? So I think we have to be careful to find out what is going on first. I think for a man, number one, saying that he's the one that is having the fertility issue, I think that's probably a traumatic experience, first of all. Because normally, it's more known for women to have issues than men. Not to say that men don't, but it's usually, I think, the norm is that it tends to lean towards the women. So when now it's the man, his ego and all that kind of stuff, again, it could be a traumatic experience. So I think the first thing is that the man needs to calm down and be able to accept what has been said. Acceptance does not mean defeat. Acceptance does not mean that it's over. Acceptance does not make you less of a man. So I think that there needs to be some help to help him navigate through this news that he got, right? So that's that. And also, again, find out what God wants to do. Sometimes I think as believers, we don't expect anything to go wrong. We want everything to be perfect, we want everything to be straight because, oh, we have Jesus Christ, so nothing should be wrong. And so when we then experience something that may not be Christ-like, so to speak, we tend to maybe spiritualize everything. And I think it is wise to first of all look at it from a spiritual perspective. But again, what is God doing? There are times when God wants to show wisdom. There are times when God wants to show power, right? Is this a power time? Is this the time when there are times when, if I'm not mistaken, when Jesus Christ had to hide away or escape away from a group of people, right? And there are times where Jesus Christ confronted issues headlong, using supernatural powers and everything. So is this the wisdom time or is this a power time, right? Because if it's a wisdom time, then matayata and all that stuff, and just waiting may not be what will give you the outcome you're seeking for. So again, what is God doing? Is this a wisdom time? Is this a power time? Is this time to wisdom time will be okay? Do we go and seek conventional ways, medical ways for this thing to work? Because there's nothing wrong with that. Or do we go and just wait on God for, you know what I mean, for the miracle to happen? So I hope I answered your question there. So there's the man needs some help, and then what is God doing? Is it a wisdom time or power time?
Thank you for that. Pastor, do you want to come in first?
Yes. Well, you know, when I hear this, there's a couple of thoughts that comes to mind. One, we have to understand the position of the young man, that we know as men, I believe I often say we have what we call emotions. So you know, the man may be wrestling with a lot. You know, he may be wrestling, am I less of a man? You know, did I fail my wife? You know, there's so many thoughts that are coming in his mind, you know, feelings of defeat, feelings of not being, you know, man enough. So you know, so so the way for him not to show that is by spiritualizing it. Say, you know, nothing is impossible with God, this and so on and so forth. But one thing we have to understand, faith does not reject or cancel, you know, reality. It does not. It does not reject or cancel it. In order for us to even receive from God, we must come to reality with our current situation. You know where we are, and God is able to work through this. That's why I say supernatural. He's able to work through you know, natural, you know, remedy, and also able to work through faith. I believe it's Isaiah, you know, 38, you know, Hezekiah. God healed him through, you know, medicinal you know, method, and also, you know, prayer. So when a man is saying that could be a defensive mechanism, that could be a wall, but we have to, throughout scripture, anyone that Jesus Christ came with, one of the things he asked, do you want to be made whole? Okay. So in order for me to say I want to be made whole, I must accept that I'm half, I'm not whole. Right. So once I accept that reality, accepting the reality does not mean that that I've accepted defeat. It just means that this is my situation right now. So now, because the sooner he accepts that, then the sooner for him and the wife to do what they need to do, both physically and prayerfully, then they will, so that they can see the undeniable miracle.
Thank you so much, Sis Joyce. You can take over now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So as we all know, it's a very difficult situation, especially when with this story where we are being told it's the man's fault. From my experience, we tried, to conceive for a while. It was less than a year. So after that, we are Christians and we are spiritual. So we prayed. We prayed for a while because I had consulted a doctor and she told me that it should be after a year. If you haven't been able to conceive for after a year, then you can seek medical help. But if it's less than a year, then they wouldn't really do anything for you. So we were praying for some months, and when it didn't happen, we decided to consult the doctors. One thing we have to understand as humans is that you can be a Christian, you can be a believer, you can be a pastor, you can be whoever, but it doesn't mean that you won't face issues. And some of the issues may be issues you aren't expecting to face. So don't tailor certain issues for yourself and then think that, oh, this cannot happen to me, or this shouldn't be what will happen to me. It can happen to you. And only God knows that. So we'll run to God, yes, but we will seek medical help too, where necessary. We won't say that after praying for some months and then still not conceiving, we won't say that we'll just sit and then wait. We have to know what the physical is also about concerning the situation medically. So we saw a doctor, a specialist who recommended for us to do a lot of things. Like we did a lot of things. We did the IUIs, we did all of it, and none of it worked for us. But in all those moments, we didn't stop praying. We're still praying and trusting. And I'll say that it makes it easier if you are in unison as a couple. But if one person is on the left and then one person is on the right, it will be difficult, because with issues like this, you can have your mom, you can have everybody, but if at home both of you do not agree on the situation, it will still be very difficult. So as believers, or with regards to the story we have, I think that they should try and then work in one-mindedness. Because if the lady is saying that let's seek medical help, and then the man is saying that, oh, God will do it, so let's just wait, it will be difficult for both of them. And also, if the man tends to listen to outside voices, when issues like this happen, with situations like this, there is a lot of noise outside. People may not know what really is going on with you, but everyone would have an opinion. And some of the opinions may be from good places, and some also may be from people who just want to be in the know, but acting like they care. So we have to also be careful who we listen to, who we talk to when there are issues like this. And as believers, again, I think they should also pray for discernment, especially with a man who doesn't want to seek medical help, because that may be where God is leading you. Everyone's situation, or an answer to everyone's situation from God, may be different. The fact that someone didn't seek medical help and had it doesn't mean that will be your story. Maybe for you, this is the route God wants you to take. And you may not know what other testimony God has for you through that route. So you can't sit and say that, oh, I'm a believer and I'm spiritual, so God will do it, and I'm just sitting and waiting. No. Hmm. Hmm. For us, when we went to the doctors, initially they said there was nothing wrong, just like this story. And then later on, um, the gynecologist actually who treated us for about 6 months but couldn't help us with medications and all of that, referred us to another specialist, that is an fertility endocrinologist, to help us. And then when we got there, she was the one who did all those hormonal tests and told us that I had a PCOS, but it wasn't something that she said what I had. The magnitude of it wasn't something that should cause me not to have children. That was what she said. So she would help us, and she also helped us. She also helped us through all of those injectables and the IUIs and everything. And she finally told me, there was really actually one day we went, and she was rather crying because she was like, Joyce, I've done everything I can to help you guys, but it looks like nothing is working. And at the point she had even she told me that she was going outside the box of her work scope to meet with some other specialists to see what they will also tell her to do. And she came back and she did whatever they told her. She said there were about 6 of them. She came back and did whatever they recommended. It still didn't work. So as believers, then we knew that
something is wrong.
this side is not also working. We know that we wrestle against not flesh and blood. So we have to press in some more than we were doing. And I thank God for my husband. He was very supportive every step of the way. I don't think there was even one appointment that he missed. He was there every step of the way. So we decided that then we have to press in, we have to press in some more than we were, because if this specialist has referred us to another specialist and she has also gone to see other ones, and they've had a meeting and discussion, and still whatever the other 6 recommended also didn't work, then we have to fall back on God. So from there, we really took it seriously. We fasted and prayed concerning the situation. But at home, one thing that helped me personally was that this issue wasn't like an everyday discussion issue. Like mother and I wouldn't get up and then we start talking about, oh, why is this so happening? Why is it not happening for us? And no, we weren't doing that. It was because I believe that the more you discuss it, I mean, as a human, the more you talk about it, the more maybe you feel like you may even be blaming yourself and finding other reasons, and you may get to a point where you break down. So you talk about it a bit, but you pray more. I'll talk about praying more and being a believer because of the story at hand. Yeah. So you talk about it, but it shouldn't be an everyday issue, because with that, then your mind is really drawn on the physicality of the whole thing. So the prayer should be more, seek God more, and don't think that somebody is praying for you, your mother or someone is praying for you, so you would relax. No, it's your battle to fight. As a believer, it's your battle to fight. Your mom and your pastors and people will be praying for you, may be praying for you, but if you don't also tackle it head on by yourself, you may not get the results you need. I would advise the man to seek medical help. It's been 8 years. God has a way of doing things. Like I said earlier, someone may get it by not going to the hospital, by just praying, but your route may be to seek God and then also seek medical help. We did both, and then the medical part didn't work. So when it didn't work was when we pressed in some more. And Nanaya knows, because I think before I even found out, about maybe a month before I found out I was pregnant. We were just talking about it, and yeah, I didn't know. I think I was pregnant by then or something, but I didn't even know I was pregnant. Nothing showed I was pregnant. I had stopped all medical attention because it wasn't working, even though they wanted me to come in and try some more and try some more. But I told my husband that I was done with it because we had sought medical help for continuously every month for about 2 or 3 years, and nothing came out of it. I stopped seeking medical help and just trusted God, just told God that, I mean, we've sought the help we can on earth. The human help that we should seek, we have, and nothing happened. So it's up to Him. It's up to God to help us, and we just relied on Him. So it was just a year after I stopped seeking medical help was when I found out I was pregnant. And that is my story. Medical didn't help me,
Yeah.
or didn't work for me. It doesn't mean that it won't work for you.
Yeah.
Go there also and see what is going on, and then let your specialist or your doctors help you go through it over there as you pray for yourself. Medical didn't work for me, and then I found out later that I was pregnant. And I would say it was just God teaching me also something that, even though that is my route, you've gone through this side, you've gone through this side, but sometimes I can do it on my own. I will do it on my own. That is my story. That may not be someone else's story. That is my story. Yeah. So I found out a year after not seeking medical help, after I stopped seeking medical help, that I was pregnant. And nothing showed I was pregnant. Really, I didn't have any symptoms or anything. I was just there. And then I felt that, and let me put this also across. I wasn't say testing for pregnancy every month or every month, every month. No. The only times I would test for pregnancy was when I had gone for to the doctors in the doctor's office. I wasn't buying stuff home to check if I was pregnant or not, because it would be devastating for me, like to check and then nothing is happening. So I was always, I mean, it was during my appointments where they would check whether I was pregnant. But this time around, when we decided to just pray, I bought pregnancy test kits, and I hadn't used it for months, because we were still praying, but I wasn't using it. And there's this one time that I felt strongly to check it, but so as to not get my husband sad or anything, I wasn't checking it because we are always together.
Together.
So there wasn't a chance for me to check it alone. I didn't want to check it when he was there. So I remember one morning he had gone to work, and I had to go to work in the afternoon. So immediately he left. I said, "Oh, let me check it. I don't know why I've been failing to check it for about 2 weeks." I checked it, and boom, I was pregnant. And really, I won't say I couldn't believe it. I believed it. I believed it because I was trusting God and expecting God to do something. So I believed it when I saw it. But doubts came in that could this be right, or is it a mistake, or something. So as the human part set in, and I started googling if the pregnancy test kits could be wrong, or could give me false reports. I was just there and checking, and for some reason, my husband had left for work that morning, came back home around 10 a.m. And I was sitting in the room with the test kit, still thinking about the whole thing. So he came in, and then I was like, something just happened. And I just checked to see if I was pregnant. I'm pregnant. He didn't even do it. He just started singing praises and thanking God and all of that. I would also say that as Christians or as believers, our faith levels are not the same. Our faith levels are different. A husband may have a higher faith than the wife. A wife may have a higher faith than the husband. With the story on board, if the man thinks that he's having that intuition not to go for medical help, I would say that he should also consider his wife. The fact that you think your faith is on the level where you don't need medical attention, but just pray, doesn't mean your wife's level is also there. And it doesn't mean that your wife doesn't have faith. She has faith, she trusts in God, but she also wants to seek the physical, she also wants to treat the physical aspect of it. We fast as Christians, we fast, but we eat also. We don't say that, oh, let me just fast and not eat, or let me not drink water and just fast. We fast. So why don't we also say that if this is what we are saying, that, oh, let's just sit down and not seek the medical attention, then why don't you also say that, oh, I'm going to fast and not eat till I see my baby? You can't do that. You will definitely eat. So please, I would advise that the man also considers the wife, because it's two of you, it's both of you in the situation. It's not just about you, it's not just about your wife, it's both of you in the situation. If yours is an extreme case of not wanting to seek medical help, it will definitely be a bother for your wife.
Mm-hmm.
But if you consider your wife, if you consider, even if not for yourself, you are a couple now, you're a Christian couple. What does the Bible tell us? We are one. It's no more your wife versus you or you versus your wife. So if your wife is on the path where she thinks that you should both seek medical help also, please do. Please seek medical attention.
Yeah.
That may be your route. That may be where, your testimony will come from.
Mm-hmm.
Since you've tried for a while and you haven't seen anything, that may be where your testimony will come from. And maybe, like me, God will try and teach you that there are some things that maybe he will do by himself. There are some things that he will also let you go through this path before, he comes in and do it by himself. So he should consider the wife and then seek medical help. If you go there, and then it doesn't work, then you know that, oh, you did it and it doesn't work. Like, use the avenues you have as a believer. I'm sure that the man, when he's not well, he goes to the hospital. And this is also a case of you not being well. It's a case of you not being well. So go and seek medical attention and then know what the doctors can also do to help you. And we should, as sometimes as believers, we debunk so much. We debunk information from science and from doctors and say that, oh no this, oh no that, and then with other issues too, we run to the same hospital and you trust the process of science. So let's know that God has also put some doctors and some nurses in there to be of help to us.
True.
When we go through whatever we are going through. And with the case of the mother-in-law trying to let the son have children out of the marriage, if the son is a believer, then no one would even have to advise him on what his mother is saying. Your mother is not your wife. And your mother really, this is really about you and your wife. It's really about you and your wife. It's not about you and your mother. It's not about you and other people. You should close your ears to the noise from outside and focus on what is going on in your home. As a believer, you should stand firm. You shouldn't be confused when wrong counsel is being given to you. You should be able to tell when wrong counsel is being given to you. So if his mother is telling him this, he should know better. He should know what to do. But also, I'm not saying that that you should use wisdom. Use wisdom and then tell your mother something. Don't let her come in between. I didn't have that experience. I had very supportive
in-laws.
Yes.
Yeah. You know what? I'm so glad that you're doing this with us. It's not easy to go through, the process, not just with the issue of infertility, but the fact that for me, I have an experience with hyperemesis where my pregnancy is delicate. I mean, at 3 months or so, I need to go get the, the cyclage done. I go through home infusion. I can't drink water. I literally have to hold my nose before drinking my water. And the moment I drink it, it comes, once I release my nose, it comes right out. So I have a very delicate pregnancy. So if you know the issue around pregnancy, and I believe that families, that's why we brought pastor and elder on. So we're going to go to pastor now. What should the church do? Because this man is a Christian, not just him, but there are other Christians, and our sister is actually listening. There are other Christians that are dealing with this issue. Some of them don't even want to tell their pastors, or they don't want to communicate to the church because they've become like maybe they're trying to be like God. They make themselves like they're supernatural or something. And so when they're having issues, they are not able to go to any pastor or any counselor to even tell them, hey, this is the issue at hand. Can we pray together? What do the pastors advise? As pastors, where do we stand when it comes to these type of issues? Pastor William.
Yeah, I think the first thing I believe, the church have to realize that just as much as we celebrate baby dedication, we celebrate birth, we celebrate those things, there are people in the congregation that are struggling with issues like that. So I believe the leadership of the church have to be sensitive to that and have to show, the compassion that's needed. For example, in our church, one of the things that I started doing the last Monday of the month is pray for those that are single, and also pray for those that are believing God or a child. Right now, if the church have to be able to talk about those things, because that is a real issue, right? Some people are really struggling with that, and they may not come out and say it because of pride, embarrassment, shame. There's so many things. The church should not be judgmental, and the church should be sensitive to that, and not because oftentimes in church we have, when things are not happening, we connect it to sin. We link it to sin. And there's a story in the Bible where the disciple came to Jesus. Why is this, is this man, sickness, or is it because of the sin? He said, no, it has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with the sin, it has nothing to do with any sin he has committed or the sin of his parent. This God has allowed it so it can bring glory to his name. Right. So we as a church, we have to, talk about those things. It's just like in church, we talk about birth, but then we don't talk about death, right? We don't talk about those things. We don't talk about, the difficulties people are having in marriages. And thank God, the Bible have examples. There are people in the Bible that struggle with having, children. Sarah, Rebecca, Elizabeth. There are so many people that struggle. Hannah that struggled with that. So but we saw all, in all of those stories, God came through. God answered, right? Because there's nothing that's impossible with God, right? And the church have to create a safe space for people to come and be comfortable to say that. Because as a man, it takes a lot for a man to go to another human being and confine something like this. It takes a lot. It takes we don't even know. Maybe this story right now, maybe the husband might be upset, even the wife, bringing it out. I'm sharing, right? It might be upset, but we don't know. So it takes a lot, and it takes stories like our sister Joy's story, sharing this, her story, her testimony. It gives one hope, right? Yeah. Because we read it in the Bible, but then it's one thing when we have somebody writing our list that have experienced it, that have lived it. It gives somebody hope, like what she said. She tried medical, and it didn't work. But even though she stopped seeking medical assistance, their faith never wavered. Their trust never wavered. They still believe and they still look to God that God is able to do it. So, so perhaps, because one thing I believe, when men have exhausted their best, where men have exhausted their, you see, where the strength of man
fails.
fails, that's where God begins
Yeah.
to show himself strong. That's where God begins to show himself mighty. I truly believe the church can play a role. The church, that there are some things that church have to talk about, have to present. Because for me, if I have people, I've only been a pastor almost 3 years, but if I have people, they they're newly married or something like that, and I see things, things are not happening, I'm not going to assume, but I believe that a situation presents itself, or conversation, right? Perhaps they're not ready, right? But some people have agreed, let's wait 2 years, let's wait 3 years, or however many. And while you're thinking, oh, what's going on? No, you just don't jump to conclusion. But when you know what the issue is, right, then we know how to pray. Then we know how to believe God. We know how to trust God. And then there might be another man, like our sister example, her sister story. Her husband will now be a source of help to a man that may be experiencing it.
Yeah.
It would be a source of help to a woman that is experiencing it.
Yeah.
You heard what she said. They weren't talking about it often, right? Because this couple, because the Bible says there is safety in the multitude of what counseling, right? They have to find a space to talk about it. The wife also too, or whether it's the wife's fault, or being that is this, this story is about, they say it's the man's fault. The wife also have to show compassion, okay? Because that man is broken. That man is broken. It doesn't matter how long he's been in the Lord. That man is broken, and or if he's not broken, then he just needs to say, go and let's eliminate the physical. And said, honey or babe, whatever he called his spouse, God has spoke to me that we're going, this is going to happen, right? But then you have to also say it so your wife can understand, and your wife can also believe and support you in your faith and in trusting in God for that. But the Bible says there's no barrenness, in His camp, and God is a God. In Genesis, the Bible says, "Be fruitful and multiply." I'm a man. I firmly believe in being fruitful. But some people, it might take years, it might take time, but the church have to be there to to be able to do that. The church should not say, "Oh yeah, brother, yeah, keep on trying, hold on,
keep on fasting and praying,
keep on fasting and praying, without you not doing." Because we have to remember too, the doctors, medicine, where did they get the wisdom from to do these things, right? God can work through these people for you to get your miracle. Not everybody miracle is going to happen the way our sister happened, right? Yours might be through the hand of the doctors, right? And then also, what if something is wrong with that man that's beyond the issue of being able to impregnate? What if maybe perhaps there's this situation where you go get checked, you find out that there's something medically wrong with you that's beyond that, right? And you there saying that spiritualize it. If it's not taking, what you can't blame God if something happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so
I was
much.
gonna say, in the situation, if it's feeding back on what Pastor's saying about, if there's something beyond just infertility, it might be something. For example, if it's a woman, you're experiencing fertility due to maybe fibroids or cysts or whatever the case is, and you refuse to go to a doctor because you're trusting God to do it. Meanwhile, God is telling you to go to this doctor so they can treat that thing, so you can receive the blessing. Every single thing that we receive in our life that contribute for the betterment of our lives, like children, are a blessing from God. And God works in different ways.
Different
There's
ways.
not just one avenue. We're always trying to expect a miracle to fall from heaven and drop on our lap. But sometimes, most of the time, God uses people to manifest those blessings in our lives. And sometimes we do not receive our blessing because we are refusing
Busy.
to accept the route, that God is trying to deliver that blessing. We want to ship straight from heaven. Meanwhile, God is shipping it through your neighbor, shipping it through the doctor. But we're refusing to accept it if it doesn't fall from the sky and fall on our lap. No matter what your faith is, I think we tend to believe that if we don't wait and just let it happen, then we don't have faith. But what message are you really delivering to your members or to your congregation if you are refusing to take the steps? That could be your testimony. It could be your testimony. Joyce's testimony could have been, we fasted, we prayed, it didn't happen. We met this doctor who, by the grace of God, was able to, God was able to use to help us. The glory still goes to God. It's not going to the doctor, right? God chose how he was going to do it in Joyce's life. That does not mean that that's going to be your blessing. Because I can see someone sitting over there right now, hearing what Joyce is saying and saying, I know my time is coming. I'm just going to wait. Because she went to the doctor, it didn't help. So God did it without the doctor. So I'm just going to wait for it to happen. Right? But that may not be your story.
Yeah.
And you wait and it don't happen. And then you're blaming God because it did not happen. And you're saying, I didn't receive my blessing. But that was not your route. That's her route. Exhaust use all your options. All your options and let God choose which route he is going to use. Right? And I do have a question though. Think this mainly goes for Joyce. So as a support system, because there's this, the mother-in-law saying, get another wife. In this case, another wife is not going to help because the main factor is not doing, it's not producing what it's supposed to be producing.
But the thing is, see, so the mother-in-law she's not, prone to that
She's not
information.
aware.
She's not aware. So that's why
Okay.
she's making that suggestion. So, and I bet you, if the son is to go to the mother-in-law, right, the mother, and tell her, Mom, I am the cause, I bet you her story will be different. She will probably start treating this woman like her
She's not
own
going to tell the woman, you can go and get a new husband now.
No.
Or you
She's
can
going
go
to
and
start pampering the daughter-in-law. So that was a question I was gonna ask Elder about resources. But if you want to ask Sis Joyce,
I want to ask about the support system because I know, like in Joyce's case, you don't want to bring it up all the time. Even sometimes, like if I'm talking to her and it may be on my mind, but if our conversation doesn't like segue into that, then I'm not gonna bring it up because it's something that I don't want to kind of like keep reminding her or like if I'm praying behind the scenes. I don't have to always come in front of her and say, I'm praying for you every time I see her. Oh, I know it's not happening. I'm praying for you. God will do it. Like
it can be
but
exhausting.
then in the other hand, there's like, I may see like a video or something of an encouragement and I will just send, to just kind of like encourage or something like that. So like, how should the support system handle it? Because then you don't want to make it seem like you're not really concerned about it, like you're ignoring it in a way,
And you don't want to overstep at the same time.
I know like there's no like one size fit all, but what should the support system, the people that are behind, like, how should they approach this?
Okay. Before, Sis Joyce, before you talk, if you're just joining us, you're joining us right here in the chat room. We're talking about infertility among couples and how the church and family should help. And we have our sister Joyce here. We have Pastor Williams and then Elder Tunde with us. Please, we just want to encourage you. You can just click on the share button and share it with anybody else or someone that you think may benefit from our discussion. Sis Joyce, please go ahead.
Okay, so with the support system, I'll say that first of all, you should acknowledge your relationship with the person. Are you that close enough or not? That should matter because sometimes there are people who aren't really close to you or who aren't even friends with you. Like if I say friends, I mean like real friends. There are some who are just acquaintances. So if you're an acquaintance, I really would not expect you to come to me and just start talking about um, me not having children or, you know, you can pray. Like Mami I said, you can pray behind the scenes. I mean, you can pray for the person,
Yeah.
but you should know your relationship with the person before you approach the person to talk about this issue because it's quite sensitive.
Yes.
You can't be there and not, let's say, not even ask me. I'm looking for a job. You haven't even asked me about my job before, if I've gotten one or not. And then just straight away, you come to me and start talking to me about not having children. No. And also, even if you have a close relationship with a person, for me, it shouldn't be something that you talk about always. It shouldn't be something that you talk about always. And even when you are going to talk about it, like we are saying, it's some kind of support you want to give to the person. Even if you are going to talk about it, don't start talking about it in a way that makes it look negative or that makes it look like, oh, you feel down. And, if you come to me feeling down about it already, then what do you expect me to, or how do you expect me to also feel about it? To talk about it, you can, I'll talk for myself. I mean, you can come, we can talk about as close as we are, whatever, depending on how close we are, you can talk about it with me by telling me that maybe, oh, Joyce, um, maybe I know of this um doctor or Joyce, which doctor we can go from maybe that angle, but not like directly. Oh, so are you really okay? Let me give you a really practical example. So there was this friend of mine. She is actually a close friend of mine. She calls me one day and then she says, "Oh, Joyce, hey, it's been about 8 years now, and still, so what are you people doing about it? Hey, are you really praying? How do you come and then ask me that? You are not in my home, and I don't have to come and tell you that, oh, I'm praying and I'm this and I'm that and I'm that. People in the church sometimes assume that because you are not having children yet, then maybe you did something wrong in the past. To be blunt, somebody, I mean, let me be very honest. Someone would even think that, oh, maybe she had some abortions. It's, like, that is why, that's what has affected her. But that may not be the case. That may not be the case. There may be other medical issues. So don't approach the person with a preconceived notion about why they do not have children yet. If you do that, then you are going to, based on your notion about your preconceived notion, that is how you are going to approach them. And it may even come out offensive. This person tells me that, oh, I really think that maybe you aren't praying enough. That is why, yes, she actually told me. And by the
Wow.
grace of God, when she said that to me, I was already 2 months pregnant, and she
Thank,
didn't know.
thank God.
And she didn't know. So she said that, oh, maybe you are not praying enough because I believe that if you are praying enough, you would have had the children by now. I know your husband is very spiritual, so I believe your husband is praying. Yes, yes, I believe your husband is praying. But
You're not praying.
Joyce,
It's you. You're the problem.
it's me. Yes. So, and I mean, for my personality, I'm not someone who would be sad, or I'm not that kind of person.
Yeah.
I'm a bubbly person. I'm not someone who will just sit down and then be sad because of this situation. That is my personality. So the person thinks that, oh, just because of the way I am, then it looks like I'm not really concerned about my own situation, and I'm not praying enough. They conclude by saying that, oh, and I have this book I can even share with you. I say, okay. So they share the book with me. Then I ask them, I wait for them to finish saying everything and share the book. And I ask them, so why didn't you share the book before telling me all what you are saying? And she's like, oh, I didn't just want to push the book. I wanted to talk about it first. And so that was when I told them that. I said, oh, then to the glory of God, God has done it. And then she goes and tells me that, oh, you know what? It should have happened long ago.
Ah,
Yes, yes. So this person tells me that, oh, you know what? It should have happened long ago. If you had really prayed harder, it would have happened long ago.
wow.
Though it has happened now, this wasn't the time. The
You
time
take
was
it.
before now.
She just didn't have anything else
It
to say.
happened now, so
Yes,
I
exactly.
hope this is somewhere you're not picking their calls anymore.
Oh no,
This is
no,
this is a church folk, right?
no.
there's a judgment.
Yes. Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
what is praying hard enough? What is that?
I don't know.
Yeah.
What
So
is that?
so this is what the person tells me. Even
And
after
this is
I've
his name
told
is
them that,
Dunstan, not
even after I've told them that
God have done it.
I'm already pregnant. Yes. So please, when we are approaching people, it's a sensitive issue.
It
Yeah.
is.
Yes, when we are approaching people with these issues, know the person's personality, know how they are. How did they take issues, or how do they take even regular discussions, not
Right.
about their infertility, even for regular discussion, how do they take it? Are they people who are open enough, and are they people who like to talk about their issues or not? Let's take all of that into consideration, because um, someone else may want to talk about it frequently with people. That is what will make them feel okay, and someone will not. And I'll come to the church, like with regards to how pastors can support and all of that too. I mean, in my opinion. So we know that our pastors pray for us. Generally, our pastors pray for us. But I would also say that I'll also tell the lady that if your pastor is not asking you enough about your issue, don't think they are not praying. Don't think they are not praying, because with my issue, when we are told our pastors that, oh, this is a situation we're facing, they took it upon themselves to draft um, some scriptures. I mean, together some scriptures and prayer points, and join us in fasting. That was that was when I was still seeking medical attention. That was what they did with us. And after some time, I don't know what God told them, but after some time, it was discontinued. I didn't take it as, oh, why have they stopped, or why are we not doing this anymore? Because I believe that they are also acting upon whatever God is leading them to do. So I want also to tell the couple that even if your pastor isn't asking enough, don't think that they may not care or they may not be praying. Maybe they don't want to overwhelm you with the issue. They don't want to overwhelm you with emotions and all what you are going through, And also with our folks in the church, you don't just pick up a phone and start talking about if
Yeah.
it's someone's like this kind of issue with them. Please use wisdom. There should be a right time. You should know what kind of mood the person is in
Yeah,
at the moment
that
before
makes
we give our, opinions or
opinion.
our
Mm.
advice. Yeah.
Thank you so much for that. So I want to share a story. Okay. Not It's not about this infertility thing, but talking about approach is very, very important. So there was a lady who once had she helped someone. Okay, this person was looking for a place to stay, and so she decided that, okay, come stay with me because I have a child and my child does not use that extra room, so come stay in that room. This lady came in with her daughter. They stayed in that house together. Finally, the person that offered the help got married. So, of course, when she's married, she can't continue to stay with the woman and the child, right? And she asked her to find a place. So the lady moved out. And this woman also, the one that offered the help, struggled with pregnancy, delicate pregnancies. And so the person that lived with her called and said, hey, where is your husband? And she goes, oh, my husband is not around. He's traveled. And then she goes, okay, well, the Lord just revealed to me that he might have gotten, oh, she said, does he still go to the white people church? And the lady said, yes, but because he travels a lot, he does it when he's in town. Then she goes, well, I think he's really not going there anymore because he might have gotten one of the white ladies there pregnant. Now, mind you that this woman in question that is being told this is heavily pregnant, a woman that has a delicate pregnancy. I mean, anything at all can cause this woman to lose her pregnancy. And the woman is saying this and she says, oh, yeah, so I want you to go and, confront the woman. This is a story that's being told. Go and confront the woman, the husband. And then the woman says she took time, listened to everything the woman is saying. Then she said, well, since the Lord revealed to you, you're saying the Lord revealed it to you, right? So you go ahead and do the prayer, but God hasn't revealed it to me, so I'm not going to worry about it. Besides, if it's really true, then it's going to come from another direction too, not just from you. But this lady was so persistent that go and ask, go and ask, go and ask, go and ask. I say this to say that in the end, she came back after 6 years or so to tell the woman, oh, I finally figured out what the Lord was saying about the dream I told you. It wasn't about the
6
husband.
years later.
Yes, it's about your daughter, that God is saying that be careful that your daughter do not give birth early. So then the lady says, she asked, so what if I have gone ahead to confront my husband like the way you were so persistent? And even in the quest of that time that you were telling me this, I was heavily pregnant, And then she goes, well, thank God. That's why I know that you're a spiritual person. You pray. So I'm glad that you use wisdom and you allow God to speak to you and you didn't go and ask. I'm only sharing this to say that you be careful the things you suggest. Be careful the things you say. Be careful. Be careful the things you say. It's really important, guys. Don't go out there and start assuming things, even if the person is not conceiving. You may never know. I know someone who it took a while for her to get pregnant. Finally, she conceived. And the same church people have been asking, when are you going to give birth again? Now, I said to her the last time, I said, listen, don't worry about what people are going to say. Don't worry about the pressures people are going to give you. You know why? Because the same people, if your child is, let's say, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, and you get pregnant again, they're going to say, you didn't even wait for your son to be 1 or 2 or 3. So, yeah, it's true. So no matter what you do, people will talk, but let it be between, like Sis Joyce said, it should be between you, right? And your spouse. We should be supportive of one another. If the man has the issue, the woman should be supportive. If the woman has the issue, the man should be supportive. It's so important. And please, as married couples, I pray that we will all get to a place where we really know the people that we are married to. So when issues are presented to us, we know how to handle it. I just wanted to add that to Sis Joy's suggestion. And then to ask Elder, please, what do you say about using our resources? Because you mentioned that you are in psych, and Pastor Williams is also has a psych background, and I know Miss Amy has that background. Some of us we are blessed with so many different people in the churches, but I feel like the church do not utilize our resources enough. What do you have to say about that, please? Thank you.
All right, I had to mute. Yeah. So I think one of the benefits of going to this medical doctors is that they can point you to these resources as well. There are communities. I mean, even Facebook. You can go on Facebook and join a group of people who are dealing with the things that you are experiencing, right? And help you through the mental and the emotional aspect of these things, right? So there are many resources. You can get it through your doctors. You can join, groups of people who are going through this and helping each other along the line. So those are ways you can get. I don't know of a name of any actual place right now, but because that's not my fertility is not my, but I know that a lot of times in hospitals, these are things that they provide to you that, hey, do this, you can go to these people and whatnot. Even the fertility doctors too, I'm sure they can give you resources to help you. And there are actually mental health professionals that specialize in these things, where their job is to help you through this process of, infertility. I think another thing also is that in the church, I'll tell you a story. When I was a kid, this was back in Nigeria, there was this kid that had he would have convulsions, all of a sudden. And I think one day he had it and everybody just, back home, you don't have, I don't know, maybe you guys went to private school. I went to public school. So you can have like 80 something students in one class. And imagine one student just start to convulse and all of us just scattered everywhere because like, what's going on? The interpretation was he was possessed. That was interpretation. Oh, there's a demonic back, all these things. Eventually he went away for a while, came back, he had this ring in his hand that apparently they put some supernatural stuff in it so that they won't convulse. Many, many years later, I'm thinking about this and I said, this guy had a seizure. He had a seizure. You understand what I'm saying? So our society, and which is bled into the church, or maybe the church bled into society, is the mindset that once you talk about something that you're dealing with mentally, we frown upon it. Oh, how can you have depression? Do you believe Jesus? How can you have anxiety? And the thing is, it creates this as a cognitive dissonance where it's like, okay, what I believe and what I'm experiencing are two different things, right? And that can be very difficult. And what I think the church does a poor job in is that we ignore the reality and always want to point to what Jesus can do. Here's the thing. There are people who pray. There are people who went to medical routes and nothing ever happened. Nothing. Nothing happened. So what do you want them to do? You understand what I'm saying? And it doesn't change who God is.
Yes.
It doesn't change the fact that God can do anything. It's just that for whatever reason, best known to God, that's just not what's going to happen for you all. All right. So how do you deal with those things? Right? Because even you see some pastors who are doing miracles. When they get sick, they go for medical checkup. They go to a medical doctor to get treatment. So why didn't you lay hands on your own sickness and it goes away? These people who do miracles, they die. And it's usually from some kind of disease or something. So, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
they die. It's not like they live forever because they
And
pray
and
for
they
Lack
die
of knowledge.
at a very youthful age.
yeah.
Lack of knowledge. I mean,
Yeah, so I'm saying all this to say that again, we need to embrace both spirituality and there's humanity. We have to embrace both things. And once we can do that, we should be open to, like in this brother's case, some therapy. It's fine. Go talk to a therapist, go talk to somebody. They give you the mental fortitude to be able to stand for the physical aspect of things, because the reasons why many of us don't, the spirituality is hard, is because of the physical things, it's because of the anxiety, it's because of the depression, it's because of all these physical emotional things we're experiencing. It makes it difficult for us to even focus on the spiritual aspect, right? So if there are tools that God has allowed, therapists, with a counselor, church folks, because there's some church people who are more I don't want to say advanced, but who understand this
yeah,
dynamic. And if you have those people, go to places where your spirit, your soul, your mind is lifted up. Don't go to places where, like Sister Joyce was saying, the lady we're talking about, somebody's pregnant, very delicate pregnancy. Now you want to tell her husband is like, what if she just, from the shock of that miscarriage, baby's gone?
Yeah.
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 You understand what I'm saying? And then 6 years later, oh, my bad. I mean, like,
Now God has given them a new
Revelation.
understanding or
I would
revelation.
take 6 years for the whole
I
dream to
know.
be interpreted.
You know what I'm saying? Or even if maybe the
Meanwhile,
baby
the message
stayed,
has been delivered.
yeah, even maybe the baby stayed or she left her husband.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand? Like, and that's another thing we have to be very careful of. And that is why what God is telling you, talking about support, what God is telling you should trump what God is
Yeah.
telling anybody
Very
else.
important. Yeah.
What God has told you should be more important than what any pastor or whatever, because these pastors too, some of them are the worst ones ever. They're the ones that will destroy your family. I heard a story not too long ago from a pastor. He was sharing the story about a lady he met who was still believing for her husband to return. And the pastor asked the lady, "Where's this husband?" The man is married with kids.
Hey,
And she's waiting.
But because she received the prophecy that the husband is coming back, and this lady's waiting.
the
And the
pastor told the woman that your husband
Somebody
that's
else.
married with kids is coming back.
Somebody else told that lady, another pastor prophesied to that lady that the husband is coming back. So this lady met this pastor that is telling the story to.
I'm waiting for him to come back.
And the pastor's like, "What are you waiting for? The man is married with kids." Like, we
It doesn't.
tend to,
Yeah.
But you didn't want him back. He's married with kids. Why do you want him
and
back?
I don't know.
Because she received the prophecy, and that's the problem, Elder. That's a lot. This is a big problem with some of us. It's just like people that go to churches and they tell them you're going to be married to a doctor, you're going to be a nurse, you're going to be this. Meanwhile, you're not studying, you're not doing anything, you're not preparing yourself, you're just waiting.
Coming from heaven.
Yeah, it's coming from heaven. And that's what I'm saying. There's a cognitive dissonance, I think is what they call it, where our reality and what we believe are two different things.
Yeah.
And especially for those of us who have been raised in the church and we need to also be careful how we give so much power to our leaders. I'm not saying they should not be respected. I'm not saying we should not hear them. But the truth is, again, they're human beings like us.
They are human.
Right? Sometimes they can hear wrong or be and that is why, again, what God is telling you is very important. So to the man, yes, maybe God is telling him that, hey, listen, I got you. Cool. But like you said, Sister Joyce said, if your wife hasn't heard that, do the things that appease your wife as well. Because your wife is not telling you to not believe God. She's not trying to move you away from Christ. Just go do all the other testing. If it's the will of God, those medical things won't work. It will be the way God wants it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to answer your question, support again, there's some support. I believe there's some on like Facebook, social media platforms. There are, if you go to some of these doctors, they can tell you where to go. Talk to a therapist, especially those who have dealt with this kind of clients before. And also, pray your church community. Again, if you're in a church where there's no wisdom and everything is all spiritual, right? There are times when the Israelites fought battle with hands, and there were times where they just surrounded a wall
The wall.
13 times and it came down. Like, again, what is God asking you to do at this moment? Is it surround the wall 13 times, or is it get your weapons together and go fight? Or who was it? Is it Nehemiah who, when they were building the wall back, as they were building the wall, they had weapons in their hands, right? They believing that God will protect them, but just in case
They were prepared.
somebody sleep through,
They're prepared.
we're ready to, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're ready to. And another thing is, and I'm done. Family members.
That part.
I think generally they mean well. But some people can love you out of your faith. They can love you into anxiety. They can love you into depression. They can love you to all kinds of things.
Yeah.
Right? If you have a family member that's not sensitive, just minimize your communication with them if that's what it would take. The guy's mom should never have said that. Should never have said that. Understood this was not expected. Of course, when they're getting married, everybody thought, hey, baby is coming, grandchild, blah, blah, blah. Oh, great. But here we are. Because if it was your own daughter, and this is the thing we need to start thinking, would you be okay if your daughter's husband's mom says they should kick your daughter away or go? You understand what I'm saying? Like Sister Joyce said, it can happen to anybody at any time. So never look down on anyone. You know what I'm saying? Pray for people. There are people who had plenty of kids, never stayed around to raise them, but those kids turned out great. There are people raised, polished, nurtured, everything. Those kids turn around horrible. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, the grace of God is paramount, and we cannot take it for granted. If the Lord has not allowed you to have children right now, love on each other, respect each other. Right now, the husband should be behaving himself extra well, because the lady can walk away. The lady can walk away.
And then go have children. And then what?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And go have children. And because these are the things we need to keep in mind. Family members, thank God for their love, for the ones that have good family members. But if they're giving you advice, especially that is not aligned with the Bible, don't take that advice.
Thank you.
Do not take that advice. Stick with your wife and discuss, what if we never have children? Adoption is there. Adoption is an option, and that's okay.
Yeah.
There are people who have kids who don't want them. You can adopt.
Yeah.
Maybe that's your call. Maybe that's your calling.
Exactly.
There's someone that needs you.
Yes, that's it. Adoption is an option, and they shouldn't rule that out. An African parent is not your baby. You didn't blend,
It's your baby.
whatever.
Once you sign for them,
Whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There are some people who were raised by people who are not their biological, bloodline, and they have a better, relationship with them than their own biological people.
Yeah.
Adoption is there's a way to have children. So don't lose hope. You know what I'm saying? So those are some of the resources: adoption, therapy, groups that You can join groups that are going through this, male that are going through. I'm sure if you go on Facebook, social media, you will
Social
find.
media, yeah, you find them.
You'll find some
Online,
groups
period.
online. You can talk to a fertility doctor who can help you through these. And again, knowing that you have options or what you could try, it will give you some relief.
You'd
It
be
will
right.
give you some relief. So those are the things I have.
Pastor William, I believe you wanted to say something earlier on.
Yeah, if we go back to Joyce testimony, and story, and this goes back to what Elder Tunde was saying about you see, she said that people will be praying for you, but it's your responsibility to pray for yourself, right? I firmly believe if somebody is praying for themselves, there is no way they will allow the voice of any false prophet or fake person to be the loudest, because God is not the author of confusion. God will not bypass you and go speak to somebody else and come and tell you something. Okay.
And then 6 years later, they'll give you different translations.
Say, come back later, 6 years later, that was about your daughter.
After your life has been ruined.
Yeah,
Sorry.
So we have to be very, very, very careful. I often say at the church, let the voice of God be the loudest. Let the voice of God be the loudest, because God will speak to you in your situation, and it will comfort you. And the more the more you're spending time with God, and God knows your heart, the more you trust in God, guess what? It gives you strength.
Yeah.
It gives you peace. It gives you comfort. While other people are all going haywire, you are not, because you know what God have told you.
Yeah.
You know what God is communicating to you, right? So I think that is very, very, that is very important. But for the sake, you see, now the lady, the man mom is telling him to go get somebody else. What if the lady now tell her parents, it's not me, it's my husband?
Yes.
Right? So then it's okay. You know what? I didn't marry. I want grandchildren. They come and take their daughter from the house, right? You see what I'm saying? So that's why it is very, very important. I bet you for this lady to reach out like this is because there's a block somewhere with a man. There's a block somewhere. There's a block. And when people say we're over spiritualizing, I really believe if you're really communicating with God, you won't be ignorant. You just will not be ignorant. And okay, go. Okay, if you don't believe what this doctor is saying, why don't you go somewhere else? Go for second
opinion.
Go for second opinion. Go try that. And then since he's so spiritual, the Bible says in the multitude of two, the truth shall be established. So when you've got second opinion, the second opinion is saying it's you. Okay, now God direct us.
Right.
Now lead us. Now, okay, doctor, what can you all do? And while they're doing that, you're still praying. You still trust in God. You still believe in God.
You still take the grace of God for that to work.
Yeah, you still I tell people all the time, before you take a Tylenol or take an Advil, don't just pop it in your mouth. Wait, pray over it. Lord, this medication, my faith is not in this pill, it's not in this prescription. My faith is in you. However, I'm taking this, I'm trusting you. If you choose to heal me through this, fine. I'm trusting you. I commit on to it. If before we eat, we're supposed to pray. I believe we're supposed to pray before we take medication, before we take treatment, so that it will do what it say is going to do.
Because you might be taking the wrong thing.
Yeah, and especially with all side effects, medication have. We don't look at the side effect food have, but we still pray over our food. So we should also pray over the treatment. God, give the doctors wisdom. Give the doctor wisdom. On what, because what may work for Joyce may not work for Nancy. May not work for So give them wisdom, so they will, so I'll not become a trial. I'll not become a trial dummy. Give them wisdom where God will lead them. Just one word will not. Maybe that thing has not worked for hundreds of people, but it will work for you.
Work for you. Thank
You
you.
know, so you see how you because the worst mistakes church folks, Christian, believers do is when they have problems. Instead of they run to God, they run away from God and begin to hear the voice, the voices of people, and they rule and dominate. But if you're in your quiet time, right? Our sister, they were not expecting it. But you see what she said? She said there was no physical sign that she was pregnant, but something told her to go get tested. You see? Because
I've been pregnant many times. I told her it was the flu. She had the flu.
You see, something told her, and what is that something? Is because why she has been before God with this. She's been before God with this, right? She's been before God, and when she went, even though she believed, but she said she Googled, make sure that I'm saying
the test was giving the right results.
Yeah, that this is giving the right result. But
because they can be wrong sometimes.
Exactly.
They can.
Be wrong. But you see, the beautiful thing about the story, when the husband came and she told the husband, he didn't Google.
Praise.
To confirm. He began to praise God because why? They both were together praying and trusting God.
Yeah.
Because one thing about childbearing, if the husband and wife are not in agreement, you can pray and fast and you can engage in the physical activity. It's not going to happen.
It's not.
Right? There has to be an agreement. Okay, we're ready for this to happen.
Yeah.
And then you trust God. You believe God for it. Right? When the husband came, he didn't say, hold on for a second. Hold on. Let me check. Let me make sure that it's okay.
What say you, ChatGPT?
Yeah, let me make sure if it's okay. Or let me see the box. Make sure the test has not expired or something like that. Did you buy it here or you bought it back home? He began to thank God. Whether it's confirmed or not confirmed, he thanked God already. So you mute all the other voices and let the voice of God be the loudest. Let it be loud. Let him lead you. Let him direct you, and not somebody else telling you go get a second wife or go. I don't even know why that back in that face.
Yeah, I have a comment.
Believer.
I have a comment on WhatsApp. Yeah, trust me, or some of the people that call ourselves believers.
I know.
Yeah, because apparently the woman that told someone to go and ask questions that the husband may have impregnated somebody is a serious spiritual woman somewhere somehow. Anyways, I will comment on WhatsApp. It says that how I wish that the church would utilize some of the service days for such educational talks. I think that's really important. At least sometimes make time. I think it will help. And to clear all this confusion, because there's a perception, as we said earlier, that everybody think the moment conception is not taking place is the woman's fault. But I think things like education, things like these, if we could give the platform to individuals that have the experience or the knowledge or the background to come over and teach and let them understand that, hey, it's a 50-50. It could be the man's fault or it could be the woman's fault. Then maybe things like these I think is definitely worth. And one big thing too would be our finances, because there are couples that divorce because of finance. So I think that the church can
chime in. And
I
think we should not use the word fault, because I think that's what also, because if you say it's a fault, then
it's his fault. Well, it's on his side.
No, but the word fault is like you're guilty of something.
You're doing something wrong. Yeah.
Oh,
you get what I'm saying? I get it, because that's what we say.
But that's how we say it. It's your fault. Yeah. It's my fault. Yeah.
But it's not a fault. It's you just. I mean,
it's a situation.
It's a challenge. Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and because again, fault gives a connotation of you're wrong.
Right.
One that is, I guess, less than in this situation.
You play that blame game.
The man feels like, I can't. My blanks are blank. I'm shooting blanks out here.
I mean, they are though, but
I mean, but that is a man's ego. It's,
Yeah.
I mean, look at how many men who want to do vasectomy. We'll be like, oh no, but women are sure. Go ahead.
different topic for another day.
I know, but I'm just saying that
But-
that is how we attach to.
We should actually talk about that. Put that on the list.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that.
That is how much we attach to our genitalia. Real quick, and I'm done. I was at work and I was talking to some ladies. I'm a nurse, so I work with ladies all the time. And they were like, "Oh, for men, would you, if you had a choice between getting both your legs amputated or your manhood cut off, what would you choose?" Guess what everybody said? Take the legs.
Legs.
Yeah, legs.
Who needs to walk?
Take the legs. All the guys are like, "Oh, take the legs." There's wheelchair.
Who
There's
needs that
prosthetic
wheelchair?
legs, There's all kinds of stuff. We can still move around.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So we are very attached to that.
Yeah.
It's part of our
Pastor William.
Crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but we should talk about it in the church.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That
Thank
is
you.
good.
I think I think it's a good point about talking about it with the church, but I will also, it's sometimes too, as a pastor, as church leaders, you have to walk those lines very, cautiously, right? Because you don't really know if indeed somebody is struggling with that and they have not come out and said it. And rather than receiving it, they take offense, right? So it's one of those things, like, let's say men's fellowship, women's fellowship, like those are things those are topics that can be brought up. Like I know our women's fellowship here, they always bring medical professionals to come and talk about things. Maybe they can include that in their topic. Maybe men's fellowship, maybe small groups can interject that very cautiously, because that also too will open the door for somebody to be comfortable enough, because it's like, sometimes when you are dealing with something, but you think you're the only one dealing with it, but the minute you say something about it, you find out that other people are dealing with it, and other people have dealt with it and they've overcome, and that right there gives you strength to go through it. And now I know other people that can understand and that can relate, because the truth is, with all the four of us that's here, this woman's story, the only person that can really relate and understand is Joyce. It's Joyce, right? Because she can 8 years. Joyce said 8 years. She's the only one that can really relate, and even that she may not be able to relate fully because she doesn't have all the full details. Right?
Yeah, she didn't go through it. She wouldn't have the testimony.
Exactly. Right. So I think that is it's important that I just think generally church, there's things that church should talk about that we don't talk about. I always say we don't talk about how we enter, and we don't talk about how we exit. We don't talk about sex. We don't talk about death. But church folks, they don't like funeral, but they like they like the work in bringing life into here, like what the question, but we don't want to talk about it. But these are things that we have to talk about, so that, because you don't know what people are dealing with, because things like this have destroyed homes,
and just so people will know how to correctly approach things. Like, we can be so inappropriate. Somebody will just take spirituality and think that it gives them the authority to weigh in on your life, and just come in and just say inappropriate stuff in the name of spirituality or the spirit.
The Lord is speaking.
I'm like, I don't even want to hear that word anymore. When people say the spirit told me, I'm like, stop.
Thank you, Nana. I think Sis Joyce wanted to say something, and then it's 5:37.
Oh, yes. I wanted to say something just came in mind to encourage the lady that for every situation, not just infertility, like waiting period is difficult. Waiting period is difficult. So I just want to tell her that in this waiting period, as she is a Christian too. I believe that God will give her something to hang on whilst she waits. It may be a word, something. God will give you something to hang on to whilst you wait. Otherwise, your mind will wander. Your mind will wander in a lot of things, and people may even come in and suggest for you to go to places or do things you aren't supposed to do as a believer. Personally, what helped me or what I held on to the whole time was hope. Hope. Christ in me, the hope of glory. That was what hope. The word hope was what I held on to. That um, God knows I've put my hope in Him. And if the Bible says that Christ in me, the hope of glory, then it means that um, the ending should look nice. It should be good.
Amen.
The ending should be glorious. And the glory is not for me, it's for God.
Yes.
So I'm putting my hope in God, and um, the ending should be glorious for people to know that you are God.
Amen.
I remember one time at work, there was this lady, she's not a believer, but she knew I was battling infertility, and then she came to me and then she asked me on break time that, oh, how come? Because there were other ladies who were also, there were about two other ladies who were also facing the same issues. She came to me and she was like, oh, how come you always come to work and you don't look like someone who is even going through this situation, even though sometimes you take off days to go for
Yeah.
your medical treatments and all of that, but you come to work and then you don't look like you're going through it. And I've been watching you and I've been watching these two ladies, these other two ladies who also have this same issue. They come in and they are always like sad, and that is all what they talk about. That is what they talk about all the time, about them not being able to conceive. I told her that, yeah, I told her that everybody handles whatever they are facing differently. And for me, as a believer, it's what is helping me go on, because I've put my hope in Christ. And I believe that at the end of it all, I don't know when, I can't tell when it will happen, but I believe that there is something glorious that will come up at the end of it all. So, since she's a believer, I'm just saying this to encourage her that as she's waiting on the Lord, she should keep trusting.
Amen.
As she's waiting on the Lord, she shouldn't be discouraged um, by the things she would hear from outside, the things other people would say. She should just trust God and also know what God is giving to her to hold on to in this waiting period
Yeah.
before whatever she's looking for comes in.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your time, Sis Joyce and Elder. Thank you so much. Right here for me, I'm coming. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank
All
you.
right. Any final words before we go, please? My own phone, no, I can have peace. For the sake of my own phone, they have to come and show their face. It's okay. Thank you.
It's okay. It's part of it.
Let him step in. He wants to co-host. Let him come and co-host. Who is that? Joel, come in.
Yep. Elder
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Pastor, do you have any final words?
What I would say to the sister, I echo what our sister said. Just trust God, believe God. Um, don't blame the man. Don't blame him, and also pray that God will give him the heart, the understanding to be receptive.
Yeah.
Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1 said, the heart of a king is in his hands, just like the rivers of water, he can turn in whatever direction. There's nobody heart that God is not able to turn, that God is not able to move. You might be surprised. He might go quietly on his own, quietly on his own without not letting you know. But pray for him. Pray for him that this will not discourage him, that this will not he will not allow thoughts to come in, and just trust God that this is this is just all part of your testimony, your
Process.
story. This is part of the process. Trust the process. God is in control. God is in control, and children comes from him, and God will
Yeah.
give you undeniable miracle.
Thank you.
Yeah.
God bless you. Elder, do you have anything else before we end?
Yeah, I mean, I echo what everybody has said. Yes, God is in control, and like Sister Joyce said, find something from God that keeps you going, because it's tough. Like she said, the waiting time is not even for the man. The man has to wait, and also he found out that he is the one that is having the infertility issue. So that's a double whammy for him because he doesn't know when, doesn't know, and he
Mm.
waited 8 years already. And
Yeah.
also, I don't know how old they are,
Mm-hmm.
because the woman too, she has a time clock as
Mm-hmm.
well. So all of these things are there, and it's
Faithful.
essential to hold on to something that cannot fail, and that is the word of God. You
Amen.
have to, you have to,
Yeah.
because men, like Sister Joyce shared, they tried their thing, it didn't work. You understand? So man is not guaranteed, but we know
Yeah.
that God is
Mm-hmm.
guaranteed.
Yeah.
Amen.
We know God
Yeah.
is guaranteed. And whichever way he wants you to go, it may be adoption, it may be medical, it may be whatever. But whatever it is he decides to do, find that out together, come to agreement with that together, and hold on to that.
Mm.
One thing for me is whenever I'm going through something, I just want to know, God, are you with me?
It's mine.
As long as you're with me,
Yep.
you can show that you're with me. It doesn't mean that this trouble is gone away. It doesn't
Mm.
mean that anxiety goes away. It doesn't mean that the crying goes away. It doesn't mean that the hurt goes away. It just means that I know, like Sister Joyce said,
Yeah.
it's going to turn out good.
Amen.
That gives me hope. So
Thank you. For me, lastly, I want to say that thank you so much for sharing this with us. When Anaya told me that you want to come on board, I was like, wow, this is great because not many people are willing to, share. But for me, I believe that the moment you start sharing like this, it's part of the healing process. And I appreciate you. I don't know how to say it, but God bless you so much. I pray that the Lord will continue to strengthen you and give you more testimony because this testimony is powerful. It's amazing. And I believe that many people need to hear it, looking at the rate of, women dealing with this issue. So we thank God for your life and we are glad that God made it happen for you. Thank you for sharing with us. Nanaya.
I would say to the lady, sometimes, when because of familiarity, when you're saying something um over and over again, somebody else might come in and say the same thing, and it may be received differently for the husband. So we didn't say any names. Um, you can just sit down and watch this with them. It could be, I mean, I'm not saying anybody that tried to watch this video, this is not about you. It just happened to, fit your situation.
Disclaimer.
So, so you can just say, I saw this show. They're talking about what we're experiencing. So let's sit down and watch it together. He may be able to get something from this. And again, it might be something minor. It might be something minor that you might even just need to do some nutritional changes and things will fall into place. You don't know if you don't go. You can't help what you don't know. So you can use this and just have a chat with him, sit down, watch it, and maybe he will take something out of it. And
Yeah.
to everybody that is also, a support system, just be available as needed. Talk to the people in your lives and ask how you can be of help. It can be kind of a dicey area to be in.
Yeah.
You're not trying to
Yeah.
cross some guidelines or cross some
Lines, yeah.
borders, but be there as needed and support in prayers and, show up when you need to at the right time and not, overstep, because sometimes we think that it's our place to fix the situation somehow, but,
True.
just don't be inappropriate.
Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to everyone that tuned in. If you shared, thank you. If you listened, thank you. If you commented, we appreciate you. And thank you all so much for honoring our invitation.
No, thank you for having us.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Have
you
a good
for
night.
having us.
Thank you very much. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
Yo, now your matter with it talk. Your life, your wahala, your breakthrough, idea. Welcome to the chat room.
This no be ordinary place. Now a solution they show face. LadyMary they lead the way. With guess where go blow your brain. Talk your matter make we solve 'em. No judgment, just love and wisdom. We they discuss, we they learn. Every episode you go feel the burn. Oh, the chat room. Now here we define the way. Oh, the chat room. Oh yes, we go talk and clear, no delay. No delay. Oh, it's interactive, educative, informative and unapologetic. Oh, the chat room.